Happy day back from spring break. We're going to just review the factoring that you guys did the week before you went on break. And then there's a Canvas assignment, and then you'll do your notes for homework. So to review 12.1, which is the top section, that was all about greatest common factor. So for number 1, you're looking for what number goes into all three numbers, which is 5. And then the lowest exponent is n5. And then what you're left with is everything after you divide by 5 and 5. So that would give you -7. And remember, you're subtracting your exponents. So you have n to the 3. 15/5 is 10. And we have n squared. n5 and n5 cancel, and you're left with -7. Number 2, you're looking for the lowest number that goes into 14 and 18, which is 2. The highest number. And then the lowest exponent. So the lowest x is x, the lowest y is y, and then the lowest z is the same for both. It is z3. So you're going to divide everything by 2x y z3. Remember, you don't need to show the step if you don't need to. 14 divided by 2 is 7. And then subtract your exponents. The y's cancel, as do the z's. 18 and 2 is 9. X's cancel, y cancel, and z's cancel. So there's your answer. Alright, 12.2 is when we actually started factoring. This is where we're trying to figure out our multiplication. So remember, the -8 is what goes on top, and the 7 goes in the bottom. So things that multiply to be 8 would be 1 times 8 and 2 times 4. The only combination that's going to give you 7 is 1 and 8. One of them needs to be negative when you multiply, but a positive when you add. So it's going to be a -1. So your two factors are p minus 1 and p plus 8. 4, same thing. Your c value goes in the top. Your b value goes in the bottom. Only things that multiply to be 3 are 3 and 1, so it has to be those. One of them again needs to be negative, but this time when I add them, I need to get a -2. So it's going to be a -3. So I get a -2 when I add. So in this case, it's r minus 3 and r plus 1. 5 looks like it's 12.3, but it's actually still 12.2 because you're always going to be looking at your a value, right? Now we have a 4. So this isn't slip inside because 4 can go into all three numbers. So this is a GCF problem. So your GCF is 4, which means you're going to divide them all by 4. From there, you can make your x and put a -12 on the top. And if there's no number, remember there's a 1 there. Things that multiply to be 12 would be 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. The only combination that's going to give you 1 if you add or subtract is 3 and 4, which means one of them needs to be negative. In this case, I need a positive when I add, so that means that the 3 is negative. So it's x minus 3, x plus 4, and then the GCF that we took out in the original problem goes in the front. Six has an a value, it has a c value, it's missing the b value, so the b value is 0. So there are tons of things that multiply to be 100. We have 1 and 100, 2 and 50, 4 and 25, 5 and 20. And then I'm just going to skip to the one I know. It's 10 and 10. So the only possible one that's going to give you 0 if you add or subtract them is 10 and 10. One needs to be a positive and the other one needs to be a negative, so I can get a 0 if I subtract them. So that is b minus 10, b plus 10. And that's called the difference of squares, which you'll do this week. Alright, 7 is where we started doing 12.3, which was slip and slide. So for number 7, because there's an a value of 3 and there's no GCF, you're going to multiply the a times the c, which gives you negative 18. So I'm going to rewrite the problem. And then I have 7. So things that multiply to be 18 are 1 and 18, 2 and 9, and 3 and 6. 2 and 9 is the only thing that's going to give you 7. The 2 needs to be in the negative. So I'm going to go ahead and write out my factors. Oops. K minus 2 and k plus 9. Alright, so I did the 3 in the beginning. Remember, that's your a value. So now I'm going to divide by 3. 2 over 3 cannot be simplified, so the 3 is going to go in the front to become 3k minus 2. And 9 divided by 3 is 3. Number 8, again, there is no GCF, so I'm just going to go ahead and flip and slide. So I have v squared minus v, and this is going to become a negative 56, because 2 times 28 is 56. The two factors that are going to give us negative 56 are 7 and 8. And the 8 is our negative. So v plus 7, v minus 8. I got rid of the 2 in the beginning, so it needs to come back into play now. So I'm going to divide those each by 2. The 2 is going to slide to the front to become 2v plus 7, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. Nine is the last one. So if you guys see numbers that are this big, like 160, and if you had to multiply that by 4, that's probably not me being mean about it. I am probably trying to force you guys to look for a GCF, which in this case there is one. It's a 4. If I divide these all by 4, I will actually get m squared minus 14m plus 40. My a value is back to being 1, so there isn't really a slip and slide here. You just get to go straight to making the x. The factors that are going to multiply to be 40 to add to be 14 are 10 and 4. And if I'm adding them and they're both negative when I add them, they both need to be negative. So my factors are m subtract 10 and n subtract 4. And again, the GCF of 4 needs to be part of the answer. So now you're going to do a Canvas assignment, which is 8 questions. You'll upload your work to number 9 and then start the 12.4 notes, which is more factoring. And that's about it. You guys have a good day.